Iran shooting down a U.S. drone this morning. Escalating crisis. American authorities now confirming Iran shot down a U.S. drone this morning, saying it was flying in international airspace. Iran firing back, saying they're sending a, quote, clear message to America.
Flash flooding alert. Water rescues this morning as drivers get trapped in flooding near Philadelphia. Now 52 million bracing for severe storms.
Also this morning, as Joe Biden now faces new backlash for his comments about segregationist senators, the ABC News investigation into Biden's son. Our reporter in Ukraine trying to get answers. Did Hunter Biden and his firm make millions overseas in countries where his father, the former vice president, acted as the top U.S. diplomat?
Mistaken identity, the stunning twist in the attack on David Ortiz. Dominican authorities now saying Big Papi was not supposed to be the target. What the new footage reveals as authorities search for the suspected mastermind last seen in the U.S.
ABC News exclusive.
Oh my God, the crane is falling over. Oh my God.
A man who was in his apartment when this crane collapsed right through his ceiling is now speaking out for the first time.
The shark scares coast to coast. The surfing competition stopped when a shark is spotted. And where these jaw-dropping photos were taken, a shark just feet away from a family swimming in knee-deep water.
Never really over.
And Avengers Endgame, never really over. The major superhero surprise. Secret scenes now being added to the biggest blockbuster of the year.
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
Good morning, America. Thank you guys for joining us on this Thursday morning. A lot of excitement about that Avengers news.
Yeah, a lot of speculation about what they're adding, right?
Yeah, I'm wondering myself.
But we do have that breaking news, Robin, this morning.
And we want to get right to that, David. The U.S. confirming Iran shot down an American drone. Our chief global affairs correspondent, Martha Raddatz, starts us off with the latest. Good morning, Martha.
Good morning, Robin. This is a significant and dangerous provocation. There have been a spate of attacks blamed on Iran in recent weeks, but this is a direct attack on a U.S. military asset. This drone is one of America's most sophisticated unarmed surveillance aircraft. The U.S. says the drone was operating in international airspace over the Strait of Hormuz, that narrow but vital oil shipping waterway, when it was struck by an Iranian surface-to-air missile. Iran does not deny shooting down the U.S. aircraft, but claims it was in Iranian territorial airspace. The commander of the Revolutionary Guard Corps saying our borders are our red line. Any enemy that violates them will not return and will be destroyed, adding that Iran does not intend to engage in war with another country, but saying Iran is ready, Robin.
And you say that they're claiming that their border is the red line. What can the U.S. do about that?
Well, you've heard President Trump downplay the attacks on the oil tankers, but again, this is a U.S. military asset. But the U.S. also has to be careful not to overreact. The Iranians may want a retaliatory strike to garner support at home and from allies in the region, but this will be urgently discussed here at the highest levels, Robin.
All right, Martha, thank you. We're going to bring in our contributor, Colonel Steve Ganyard, for more on this. And so what is your take on all that we're reporting this morning, Steve?
Robin, unfortunately, the U.S. and Iran are getting very close to war. A country's sovereign airspace goes out to 12 nautical miles. If this U.S. drone was outside that 12 nautical miles, it had every legal right to be there, and the Iranian shoot-down was completely illegal. So it's a very tense situation, and the U.S. is going to have to respond in some way.
I know that we're claiming it's international airspace, but as you alluded to, it's a very defined and small area. Is there any chance that it may have wandered into that territory?
It's possible. It's possible, Robin. The U.S. Navy and U.S. military forces are going to have to confirm that this drone didn't inadvertently stray into Iranian airspace or over Iranian territory. If we have that confirmation, then we know that what the Iranians did was illegal.
So what happens next, do you think, Steve?
I think the Iranians are putting on a brave face right now, saying we're ready for war. They are completely overmatched by U.S. military might. And so the question is, did they make a mistake and inadvertently shoot this drone down, or did they do it deliberately in an attempt to goad the U.S. into military response?
People want to know. All right, Steve Ganyard, thanks so much. Michael?
All right, thank you, Robin. Now to a terror plot targeting a Pittsburgh church thwarted by the FBI this morning. A Syrian refugee is under arrest, and our Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas, is in Washington with all the details. Good morning, Pierre.
Michael, good morning. The FBI lays out a chilling case, accusing a young Syrian man of plotting to ignite a religious war by attacking a house of worship in the name of ISIS.
The target, this small Pittsburgh church, and the alleged plot to detonate an explosive device strong enough to destroy the church in a blast so powerful it would likely kill many people in the residential area surrounding this house of worship.
It's devastating, but that's the time that we live in.
Overnight, the FBI descending on the home of Mustafa Musab Al-Awamir, a 21-year-old refugee from Syria who came to the U.S. in 2016.
It was actually really scary. If this was to actually go through and happen, that would have been more detrimental than I could ever imagine.
According to the FBI, Al-Awamir did surveillance on the church after considering a number of targets in the Pittsburgh area. The alleged plan called for an attack in the upcoming month of July. And authorities claim that Al-Awamir recently purchased bomb-making components, including nails for shrapnel, batteries, and chemicals. The charges unsealed Wednesday accuse him of planning to deliver bombs to the church and then to detonate them remotely. According to a transcript of Al-Awamir allegedly speaking to an FBI undercover operative, Al-Awamir said, "When we have a goal, we can leave a book bag or something, and we blow it up from someplace. I'm looking for a way to leave. I don't want to get caught."
The FBI identified the suspect in part because he was allegedly obtaining large amounts of ISIS propaganda. The Justice Department claims at one point Al-Awamir reached out to what he thought was an ISIS radical based overseas. It turned out it was a covert employee of the FBI posing as an ISIS sympathizer online, Michael.
And good thing he was caught, Pierre. And Pierre, the FBI, they've been on high alert for these kind of plots.
That's right. This is the same community that saw the Tree of Life synagogue massacre last October. And I was recently at an FBI briefing where a senior FBI official warned that the agency is experiencing a higher tempo of terrorism cases than they've seen in a long time. He said there are roughly 5,000 open terrorism investigations internationally and here at home. This includes 1,000 ISIS cases, 850 domestic terrorism cases, some involving white supremacists, and 1,000 so-called homegrown extremists, Michael.
All right, thank you so much, Pierre Thomas. David.
Michael, now to that dangerous weather on the move this morning. 52 million Americans at risk from Illinois all the way to New Jersey. Overnight flash flooding straining drivers. These images from near Philadelphia, and Ginger's tracking it all for us. Good morning, Ginger.
Good morning, David. These images coming in just within the last hour. You have to see how some people are waking up just east of Philadelphia in Vincenttown, New Jersey. Those are homes underwater, people being rescued as we speak because there has been so much rain. On Interstate 295, it was 4 inches in just 3 hours. That's a month's worth of rain in just 3 hours. So this is a huge deal, and we still have flood alerts stretching anywhere from Indiana right through Dayton, Ohio, Toledo, Ohio, over through Pennsylvania, yes, parts of New Jersey, down into Maryland and Delaware, and even West Virginia, all under flood alert. But you know these storms come with wind a lot of times too, up to nearly 70-mile-per-hour winds in Little Rock, Arkansas, where you had some damage there, more than 100,000 folks without power. And then in Greenville, Texas, possible tornado, the damage there to that church. So who gets the damaging winds and the tornadoes today? It's an area, a large area. There's part in the Midwest and Plains, but really from Scranton down to Atlanta, Raleigh, Charlotte, Winston-Salem, Greensboro, all in the area that could see tornadoes, wind, and hail. Guys?
Like you said, such a large area, Ginger. Thank you. Now to that stunning turn in the David Ortiz shooting. Dominican authorities say the former Red Sox star was not the intended target of the shooting, and that this was a case of mistaken identity. Victor Oquendo is in Santo Domingo with the latest. Good morning, Victor.
Good morning, Robin. Despite being one of the most recognizable people in the Dominican Republic, a beloved icon here, prosecutors say David Ortiz was shot by mistake. Now the hunt is on for the alleged mastermind.
No era la persona de David Ortiz.
In a shocking twist, Dominican authorities now say the intended target was a man sitting at the same table as David Ortiz, Sixto David Fernandez, who was also dressed in similar fashion to the former slugger. The Attorney General believes the plot's orchestrator is Victor Hugo Gomez, who was last seen in the U.S., where he's wanted on charges involving a feared drug cartel. Gomez and Fernandez, believed to be the intended target, are actually related, and prosecutors say Gomez was upset with Fernandez. He believed he ratted him out years ago, resulting in him going to prison. This new surveillance video allegedly shows several suspects meeting at a nearby gas station before two of them ride in a motorcycle to the nightclub just minutes before Big Papi was shot. One of the suspects taking this photo of the intended target, but authorities say the hitman simply shot the wrong person, confusing Ortiz and Fernandez because of their attire. Moments after the shooting, watch as investigators say another suspect supervising the hit stays on scene, holding onto his beer, sipping it, and making a call while everyone else flees. 11 suspects have been arrested so far, including 25-year-old Rolfi Ferreira Cruz, who police say pulled the trigger. Last week, the chief of police held up the gun he says Cruz used in the alleged ambush that nearly cost Ortiz his life. The 10-time All-Star is still in intensive care at a Massachusetts hospital and has recently been upgraded to good condition.
3 suspects are still at large, including the alleged mastermind. The Dominican Republic has reached out to American authorities for help. David?
Victor, thank you. Now to the race for 2020 this morning and new backlash against former Vice President Joe Biden. He's refusing to apologize as he faces growing criticism over comments he made about being able to work with others in Washington. But his examples were segregationist senators 40 years ago. ABC's Mary Bruce is in Washington with much more on this. Mary, good morning.
Good morning, David. Well, Joe Biden says he was trying to make a point about civility and seeking common ground, but instead, he's now facing some of his harshest criticism yet. And this morning, instead of apologizing, Joe Biden is now doubling down. This morning, Joe Biden defiant.
Apologize for what?
Refusing to apologize for touting his ability to find common ground with senators he disagreed with, even segregationists.
The point I'm making is you don't have to agree. You don't have to like the people in terms of their views, but you just simply make the case and you beat them.
Biden is facing sharp criticism for recalling his work with 2 staunch segregationists. At a fundraiser Tuesday, Biden describing Senator Herman Talmadge of Georgia as one of the meanest guys I ever knew, but adding, well, guess what? At least there was some civility. We got things done. And recalling Senator James Eastland of Mississippi, Biden said, he never called me boy. He always called me son. Biden's 2020 rival, Senator Cory Booker, demanding an apology.
Somebody running for president of the United States, somebody running to be the leader of our party, should know that using the word boy in the way he did can cause hurt and pain. Vice President Biden shouldn't need this lesson.
Other candidates also slamming Biden's comments as tone deaf.
For the vice president to somehow say that what we're seeing in this country today is a function of partisanship or a lack of bipartisanship completely ignores the legacy of slavery and the active suppression of African Americans.
To coddle the reputations of segregationists, of people who, if they had their way, I would literally not be standing here as a member of the United States Senate, is, I think, it's misinformed and it's wrong.
But Biden is not backing down.
There's not a racist bone in my body. I've been involved in civil rights my whole career. Period. Period. Period.
Now, Biden actually took it a step further, saying that it was Senator Cory Booker who owes him the apology. And guys, so far out on the 2020 campaign trail, the candidates have been pretty hesitant not to attack each other directly. With these comments from Biden, that is clearly changing. Michael.
All right, Mary, definitely this has escalated. Thank you so much. And now to new developments involved with a school shooting in New Mexico. This morning, the parents of the student accused of opening fire are now facing charges as well. ABC's Clayton Siddell has the story. Good morning to you, Clayton.
Hey, good morning to you, Michael. Now, unfortunately, we all know school shootings are not rare. But in this case, authorities are doing something we don't see much, going after the parents of an alleged gunman for not doing more to keep their son from taking their handgun, the same gun police say he used to open fire on fellow students.
This morning, a new twist in a New Mexico high school shooting.
Where's the student at?
The suspect allegedly firing at 3 students last February, but missing, dropping the gun in the hallway and running outside.
Stop right there! Stop!
Turn around, face the mountain.
Minutes later, officers arresting the 16-year-old sophomore they say intended to kill his ex-girlfriend and others.
Do me a favor, drop down to your knees.
Now the alleged gunman's parents, Dale and Tamara Owen, have been charged with contributing to the delinquency of a minor because police say almost a year before the shooting, they were warned their son was hearing voices telling him to shoot up his school, but allegedly failed to lock up a handgun their son brought to campus.
This potentially opens the door to a lot of people who may not know that they would be liable for this kind of inability to predict future behavior.
Now, in the last 20 years, only a handful of adults, about 4, have been charged in similar cases. The accused gunman's parents have not entered a plea, and their son has not been formally charged. He's actually in custody waiting for mental health treatment, and last month was found incompetent to stand trial. Guys.
All right, Clayton Sandell, thanks. Certainly is a new twist in these kinds of cases. In the meantime, we're going to shift here this morning to big news at the box office. It looks like the release of the Avengers Endgame wasn't really the end. What? The blockbuster is about to be re-released with new scenes. Chris Conley is here with all the details this morning, and now all the speculation is which scenes.
Exactly, David, and good morning to you. 3 hours, 2 minutes, and still just not enough. Very soon there's going to be even more to love of Avengers Endgame as the Marvel blockbuster looks to delight its fans with bonus footage and maybe make a little box office history too. Marvel's Avengers Endgame is getting an even longer ending.
I like this one.
Kevin Feige, master of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, declaring that the Endgame, now in theaters, will soon get a beefed-up back end. Feige saying that the additional material will include what he's calling a few surprises.
I know I said no more surprises, but I was really hoping to pull off one last one.
Endgame had been the first Marvel Cinematic Universe film without an end credits scene. The new stuff figures to augment the movie's already substantial 182-minute running time. And it's already way more than substantial box office grosses, where some big-time bragging rights could be in play. Right now, Avengers Endgame has made about $832 million in the U.S. It needs a little more than $100 million plus to outdo Star Wars The Force Awakens, and thereby become the new all-time domestic box office champ. But it needs just $45 million to conquer Avatar and be the top-grossing movie worldwide in the history of ever.
Whatever it takes.
Fans online already wondering what might be revealed, as trailers included material not seen in the film's final cut.
Avengers! Assemble.
Question now is whether fans will assemble again and put Endgame over the top. Yes, indeed. Well, that domestic box office record, that's the one that's passed from Steven Spielberg's Jaws to George Lucas's Star Wars to Spielberg's E.T. and so on. If Endgame can get that one, that will be a really big deal. A lot of really big deals going on here.
We've got 7 minutes more of Good Morning America this morning. It's going to be amazing.
And it's no secret. Always great to see you, Chris.
Great to be here. Thank you.
We are following a lot of headlines this morning, including our exclusive with a man who survived a crane collapsing into his apartment.
And those close calls with sharks from California to South Carolina. This one was spotted just feet from a family in the water.
And Michael, the ABC News investigation into Joe Biden's son is coming up. Did he and his firm make millions overseas in countries where his father, as vice president, acted as a top diplomat? But first, let's get right back over to Ginger.
And I've got to show you more pictures because there's so many places that are flooding, including Bellefontaine, Ohio. Look at this. If you're driving down the road, this is what you see. It is so frightening to imagine that there's more rain, but unfortunately there is, and more severe storms. We didn't get a chance to show these pockets in parts of the Midwest. Des Moines included today, Kansas City, parts of western Kansas like Goodland. Your local weather in 30 seconds. First, though, the hot cities, sponsored by Walgreens.
Walgreens, save your skin today. Now at Walgreens, skincare products are buy two, get the third free.
Stay with Stormwatch 7 throughout the day today on all social media. 5 to 9 o'clock today, some very strong thunderstorms moving through, and those storms could be bringing some flooding to the area, maybe even some hail or some damaging winds. That potential until 9 o'clock today. Our temperatures will rise very quickly, about 85 degrees by noon. It'll feel like we're 90 degrees and higher. Those storms over with late this evening. Tomorrow, lowering humidity, the high 84. More sunshine this weekend, Saturday 84.
You realize it's not quite Friday, so you have to force a smile, like Olivia. It's really good.
It is. We agree.
The day after chemo shouldn't mean going back to the doctor just for a shot. With Neulasta Onpro, patients get their day back. To be with family or just to sleep in. Strong chemo can put you at risk of serious infection. In a key study,